Hello pips. Right, so I'm going to do this video that is titled Prediction 2022, something like that. Now I will just quickly say, and I feel I ought to say, I did predict a miracle coming in about October, November. And as the time was approaching, I was thinking, where is it? I'm not seeing it. But the really time when I felt like expectant, when I felt it should be happening, the COP26 thing was going on. And that was basically the only thing going on. So we don't, usually they have these meetings, they make these agreements, and then a bit later somebody else says, oh no, we're not going to do that. And we don't really have much expectation from them. So we don't really know, but a lot of people spoke there, including the Queen, which I was surprised about. So for all we know, a miracle did occur and something's going to change, but we just don't see the results of that yet. Also, I saw some really cool rainbows yesterday. Well, one rainbow, but it was there for a long time, and sometimes it was really full and sometimes it was just a bit. And maybe I'll put that in the thumbnail. Okay, and I've done other predictions before, and I use different things to make predictions, so it depends what it is, really, to how valid it is. But I think the big one that I did get right was Brexit. Not that I predicted Brexit, I predicted a great big earthquake about a year before, and then got down to the dates June 22nd, June 23rd, about a month before. Even now, I wasn't even thinking it was Brexit. So I have got some good records on it, and, a lot of stuff I always say, wait and see. And if you do remember, if you were watching the previous videos from my previous channel, Rebel for Jesus, the reason that I made that prediction that a miracle was coming was that I'd had a dream of this Christ figure, saw it in a dream, and it was coming soon. So anyway, haven't seen a recurrence of that. But anyway, I'm going to make a prediction for the year 2022 based on the Psalms, which I talked about in my last video. So take a closer look at Psalms 122. I've had some time to think about it, and I think it's really good and encouraging, but also quite a strong warning, and therefore I got a prediction to make. So I'm going to link this in with the prediction. I'll read Psalm 122 in a minute. But what I've noticed lately is when we've got a CME coming and hitting the Earth, and it takes a little bit of time, maybe a day or so, for the radiation to move down to the lower atmospheres and stuff like that, that I then feel sensations. Quite often, the old wisdom tooth issue will often I'll feel that feeling again, like it's starting again. And I've noticed as long as I, make the time to meditate and allow the feelings, feel the feelings, that, all is good. So I'll now read Psalm 122, and I'll link what I'm talking about with that. Psalm 122. I rejoiced when they said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. Now we stand within your gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem that is built to be a city where people come together in unity, to which the tribes resort, the tribes of the Lord, to give thanks to the Lord himself, the bounden duty of Israel. For in her are set the thrones of justice, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Peace be within your ramparts, and prosperity in your palaces. For the sake of these my brothers and my friends, I will say, peace be within you. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I will pray for your good. Now the three things I want to focus on in that psalm is the mention of unity in Jerusalem, the thrones of justice therein, and the repeated peace be within you, within Jerusalem, within you. Now, in Psalm 121, we were told the sun would not strike you by day, or nor the moon by night. So this is my prediction for year 2022, is that we're going to have a lot of activity from the sun, and it's going to be coming and affecting us on the planet. Like I just said before, I read the Psalms. Now, these sensations, I had them all before, in 2015, like something was troubling me. But I didn't make a record of it. I wasn't looking for when we had solar impacts and stuff like that. So that's been more in the last year or so that I've been looking at that and seeing that, yes, they do affect us. They affect the weather, they warm things up, and, all that extra energy, and they affecting us. And I'm thinking, how radiation affects us. They say, you can even evolve via radiation. I don't know how much truth there's in that, but do you know what I mean? If it's a choice between evolve or suffer, I'll evolve. So Psalm 21 is saying it won't happen in that year. Psalm 22 is not saying it's going to happen, but it's it's not giving it as a warning, but it's, for the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I will pray for your good. After it says, I will say, peace be within you, for the sake of... Do you know what I mean? So it is a sort of a warning in a sense. And so I'm thinking the warning is, you've got to keep that peace within you. So whenever you're feeling, something that's coming, and it might be after a solar flare, you've got to do that work to resolve it, to keep that peace within you. Otherwise it's going to get on top of you. So that's why I'm making this prediction, that we're going to have lots of solar flares and they're going to impact us. I'm not necessarily thinking they're going to impact the grid. In fact, I think that would be given priority for protection, and maybe even if they've got a way of manoeuvring where the radiation is going to impact or whatever. If they know something on that scale, which they quite possibly might, they would rather save the infrastructure than our mortal bodies. So, but there's a good message in this Psalm 122 as well. I rejoiced when they said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. Now we stand within your gates, O Jerusalem. We're in the gates. That sounds good, where the thrones of justice are. So, another prediction I'll make is that the people will be much more in unity together on these issues, like vaccinations and how we're going to sort out the planet and stuff like that. That we will have unity, and those liars and hypocrites and parasites will face justice, as they've been avoiding it. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. He knows all the people, he's got all the dirt, so either he was killed or it was faked and he escaped. And we've seen a lot of wrong people perhaps being scapegoats for all this child sex trafficking and paedophilia stuff that's apparently going on. So we'll see some justice on that. So they're good things. We're going to have unity, we're going to have justice, but we're going to have some stuff to deal with. And that's going to require meditating and keeping the peace within you. So, peace be within you. Ciao for now.